Good morning, my love muffins. Reverend Sue here from All Paths to God, recording live from my living room. Well, you're going to get your fill of All Paths to God today as we have our Sunday prayer treatment and our Sunday service message posted. And at noon, we're going to have our Zoom gathering for those of you that want to see each other's faces. That link has been posted on our Facebook page as well as emailed out. And tonight at 6 o'clock on Facebook, we are going to host a prayer for peace vigil. So please join us for all those activities. And we are beginning to look around for a room that is large enough to accommodate our congregation while simultaneously practicing social distancing as they're beginning to lift the restrictions, and it looks like churches can get back together to meet in person as long as we do show caution. It's been 3 months since we've last met together. March 8th was our last meeting that we had in our church room. And the world has seen some trouble during that time. So now, more than ever, the world needs our love and our hope and our faith. That's difficult during challenging times, but really, what's the alternative? We can either lift our vision to the possible or get buried in the dismal. While we New Thoughters can get mired down in the muck, in the fear and the worry and the horror and the outrage, in the pain and the suffering and the disillusionment and despair as easily as anyone else. Our belief in a power for good in the universe that's greater than we are, but that is also a part of who we are, encourages us, entices us, inspires us to refuse to let external circumstances dictate the ideas we hold in mind and control the state of our hearts. We simply will not allow dismal to have its way with us, at least not for long. Not when we believe consciousness creates. Not when we believe that our every thought and word and act shapes our lives and our world with the content of our hearts. So, no, when it comes to fight or flight or fear, which are conditioned responses to dismal, we choose faith. Faith in God and good, and faith in our inherent goodness. Know the truth? I heard you. And the truth shall set us free. It is done unto us as we believe. And something bigger than us, something infinite and eternal, does it. Our thoughts and our feelings and our experiences are always a perfect match. That's the divine design, the universal law of creation. So when we're dealing with life circumstances, our thoughts and our feelings and our reactions are dealing with causation. Right or wrong, good or bad, dark or light, each state of consciousness taps the same loving and giving source and mobilizes the same form-producing law. So, the lighter our thoughts and words, the lighter our heart, the lighter our experiences. The heavier our words, the heavier our thoughts, the heavier the burden we carry in our heart, the heavier our life experiences. Each state of consciousness changes us and changes our world for the better or the worse. So in any given moment, at every single moment, we strive to have faith. Consciousness creates. There's a legend of a man who found a barn where Satan kept his seeds, ready to be sown in the human heart. The man noticed that the pile of seeds of discouragement was much larger than any other pile. He asked Satan, why? And he learned that those seeds were more numerous because they could be made to grow almost anywhere. But when questioned, Satan reluctantly admitted there's one place he could never get seeds of discouragement to thrive. And where is that? Asked the man. Satan replied, in a faithful heart. We New Thoughters believe the same. We believe that seeds of discouragement cannot grow in a faithful heart. We can experience discouragement, but we can't amplify it and multiply it and grow it in a faithful heart. Faith grows seeds of hope, seeds of healing. That's why Ernest Holmes always emphasized he did not teach faith healers. He taught faith heals. When we have faith, we're not theorizing, we're not hypothesizing, we're not speculating, we're not wondering. We're knowing God and good in everything and everyone. We're standing firm on the truth of who we really are. We don't get distracted by thoughts and feelings and people and circumstances that are not in tune with the truth. Yeah, right. What I meant to say is, when we get distracted by thoughts and feelings and people and circumstances that are not aligned with the truth of who we are, we choose to think and feel independently of that circumstance and to reach for faith instead. If we want the world to be a better place, we have to be a better person in it. Meaning, we have to live our lives closer to the truth of who we really are. Not so much in our claims and our affirmations, as in our hearts and in our actions, in our interactions and in our reactions. Just imagine what could be possible if we understood and used our own God-given power to transform ourselves and to heal our wounded world. That's why we love to say we didn't come this far to only come this far. So during these challenging times, how about if we give people the benefit of the faith? Not the benefit of the doubt. I know that's what you thought I was going to say. Giving someone the benefit of the doubt means, even though we're relatively sure they're guilty, if there's even the slightest, minutest, sniggling possibility that we could be mistaken, that we could be in error, then we cut them a break and we err in their favor. But we know they're guilty. Giving someone the benefit of the faith, we know they're innocent. Even if there is glaring evidence to the contrary. We know the truth. It doesn't mean that we don't set boundaries and that we don't hold people accountable for their actions in this worldly place. But it means we don't lose sight of the real truth of who they are. It means we know there's a place of love and peace and harmony and wellness in each one of us. A place that is indifferent to and untarnished by what's going on in our experiences. So, give people the benefit of the faith. When someone's rude to you or mean to you, give them the benefit of the faith. Faith that there's simply no such thing as a little bit of God. So love and light and grace and good are right where this nasty person is. Then maybe nasty won't be so glaring. Or at minimum, even if it continues to glare at us, it won't hold us hostage. I'm thinking recently the prayer ministry has been doing, as you know, drive-by blessings, where we've been going to congregation members' houses and beeping horns and holding up signs and waving and just passing on the love. And one day we were making a ruckus and we were lifted in joy and happiness, and a man who was working outside a couple houses away all of a sudden yelled in a very angry tone, "Shut up!" And I remember my instant reaction was I was here in joy and pleasure, and I went zoop immediately. And my judgmental thoughts accompanied that. And I said to Donna Verzel, one of our prayer chaplains and one of our lay ministry students, "That guy over there just screamed 'shut up' at us." Well, she didn't even skip a beat. She went, "Oh, let's just send him love." Well, that's having faith regardless of what's going on around us. That's knowing that there is a place in us that cannot be diminished, that warrants our love, our respect, and our compassion, and our understanding. So let's give people the benefit of the faith. So when someone is throwing their weight around, give them the benefit of the faith. Faith that, one of my faves, when push comes to shove, don't. Faith that when push comes to shove, we know peace is their nature. And we know that peace is what they want to display, even though they're not. Because knowing this, holding this faith, then maybe we don't shove back. Maybe we don't go from here to here. It's all about our interactions and our reactions. And when somebody deceives us or lies to us or tells us less than the truth, let's give them the benefit of the faith. Faith that vibes of authentic and harmonizing truth pulsate in every cell of their being, even though they're spewing fabricated stories. Deceit is often a misguided attempt to keep the peace. But if we keep our focus on the real truth, we at least keep our peace, regardless of external circumstances. For some reason, it just reminded me of the story about a small campus town. Had newspaper advertising events for Parents' Weekend, and a tavern, which was frequently visited by the students, ran the following ad. Bring your parents to lunch on Saturday, and we'll pretend we don't know you. Well, there's a slight deceit, but why? Trying to keep the peace. Well, when the college chaplain saw the ad, he placed an ad of his own that said, bring your parents to chapel on Sunday, and we'll pretend we do know you. Don't you love it? Finding this place of authentic truth and being comfortable expressing it, we know this is the urge from within, but it might not be the expression in experience at this time, as we are all growing and evolving. So give people the benefit of the faith. And when people do horrific things, which is what we're being exposed to over this last couple weeks, still give them the benefit of the faith. Faith that when God looked at his creation, he declared that it was good, including that one, including the one or ones who did the horrific things. So give them the benefit of the faith. You get the point. Faith is an idea that must be lived to have any power. When we claim to have faith, especially at times of disturbing circumstances, like all other ideas we affirm, they must have matching heart vibrations and actions in order to have any power. It's about assuming and remembering the best and letting the worst have its minimal amount of attention necessary, and then letting it journey on its miserable way without us along for the ride. If we want the world to be a better place, we have to be a better person in it. Meaning we have to be more the truth of who we are, regardless of how other people are being. In every difficulty, in all times of distress, in every possible perplexity we can imagine, we have an opportunity to rise to the truth of who we are. What did Michelle Obama always say? When they go low, we go high. This is our mission in actually practicing our spiritual belief system. Give people the benefit of the faith. We didn't come this far to only come this far. So your mission, my friends, if you so choose to accept it, is to look this week for opportunities to give people the benefit of the faith. God is good, and so are we. And anything that shows up that is unlike good is not the truth of who we are. It might be the truth of our experience, but it's not the truth of who we are. A higher truth flows through all beings at all times. This is the truth of who we are. So let's give anything that shows up that is other than or less than good the benefit of the faith. Know the truth, I heard you, and the truth shall set us free. We are not the people who will deliver us to our destiny, to our freedom, but we are growing into them. Give people the benefit of the faith. We are the people, now is the time, and this is the way. Namaste, my friends.